Ever wondered if someone could just disappear from Earth without dying? I'm not talking about a magic trick or a sci-fi movie plot. I'm talking about a real account from ancient history, about a man who lived such an extraordinary life that he bypassed death altogether. This is the story of Enoch, the man who walked with God. To really understand Enoch's story, we need to travel way back in time, to the world before the Great Flood. This was the antediluvian age, a period shrouded in mystery and populated by figures who lived for hundreds of years. Genesis chapter 5 gives us a genealogy, a list of names that reads like a who's who of early humanity. Adam, Seth, Enos, Kenan. On and on it goes. In this long line of patriarchs, we find Enoch. He was the seventh from Adam, a detail that ancient writers found very significant. His father was Jared, and he would become the father of Methuselah, the longest living person in the Bible, and the great-grandfather of Noah, the man who would build the ark. Now, you might think, okay, another name in a long list. But the Bible pauses on Enoch, giving us a tantalizingly brief but profound description of his life. For most of the people listed in Genesis 5, the formula is the same. He lived this many years, had sons and daughters, and then he died. It's a rhythmic, almost somber reminder of human mortality. But when we get to Enoch, the pattern breaks. The text tells us something different, something unique. It says, Enoch walked faithfully with God. This phrase is used for only one other person in Genesis before the flood, Noah. It suggests more than just belief. It paints a picture of an intimate, daily, continuous relationship. Imagine taking a walk with your closest friend, sharing your thoughts, your day, your very life with them. That's the kind of relationship Enoch had with the creator of the universe. Think about the world Enoch lived in. The Bible hints that it was a time of growing corruption and wickedness. Humanity was spiraling away from its creator. Yet, in the midst of this spiritual decline, Enoch chose a different path. He chose to walk with God. This wasn't a one-time decision or a Sunday-only affair. For 300 years, after the birth of his son Methuselah, Enoch maintained this incredible fellowship. Every day, he aligned his steps with God's. His life was a beacon of light in an increasingly dark world. He wasn't a hermit, hiding away from society. He was a family man, a father, who integrated his profound faith into every aspect of his daily existence. What did this walk look like? While the Bible doesn't give us a minute-by-minute account, we can infer a few things. It surely involved constant communication, what we might call prayer. It meant living a life of righteousness and obedience, choosing God's way over the corrupt culture surrounding him. The book of Jude in the New Testament even tells us that Enoch was a prophet. He spoke God's truth to his generation, warning them of a coming judgment. So, his walk wasn't just a quiet, personal piety, it was a bold, public testimony. Enoch's life was remarkable, but it's his departure from this world that has fascinated people for millennia. After 365 years on Earth, a relatively short lifespan for that era, his story comes to an abrupt and stunning conclusion. The Bible doesn't say, and he died. Instead, it says, Enoch walked faithfully with God, then he was no more, because God took him. Let that sink in. He was no more. He was there one moment, walking, talking, living in fellowship with God, and the next, he was gone. God simply took him. There was no sickness, no old age, no final breath. He was translated from the earthly realm directly into the heavenly one. He is one of only two individuals in the entire Bible, the other being the prophet Elijah, who did not experience physical death. Imagine the day it happened. Maybe he was on his usual walk, talking with God as he always did, and simply kept walking, right out of this world and into eternity. What a breathtaking thought. His friends and family would have looked for him, but he was nowhere to be found. God had taken him home. This event was the ultimate culmination of his life's journey. His walk with God was so close, so intimate, that the transition from earth to heaven was seamless. The writer of the New Testament book of Hebrews reflects on this event, giving us a crucial insight. Hebrews 11, often called the Hall of Faith, says, "By faith Enoch was taken from this life, so that he did not experience death. And without faith it is impossible to please God." This verse connects the dots for us. The foundation of Enoch's incredible walk and his extraordinary departure was his faith. He believed in God, and he believed that God rewards those who earnestly seek Him. His entire life was an act of faith, and God honored that faith in the most spectacular way possible. So, what is Enoch's legacy for us today? We live in a world that, much like Enoch's, is full of distractions, noise, and pressures to conform to paths that lead away from God. It's easy to feel overwhelmed or to think that living a life of faith is too difficult. But Enoch's story serves as a powerful and timeless reminder. It shows us that it is possible to have a deep, personal, and daily relationship with God, no matter what is happening in the culture around us. His life wasn't about grand, heroic deeds that shook the world. It was about daily faithfulness. It was about the simple, profound act of walking with God, one step at a time. It's a call to move beyond a religion of rituals and rules to a relationship of love and fellowship. It's about inviting God into our daily grind, our work, our families, our joys, and our struggles. Enoch's story challenges us with a question: are we walking with God? Are we aligning our steps with His, listening for His voice, and living in a way that pleases Him? We may not be physically taken from the world without dying like Enoch was, but his life promises something just as wonderful. It promises that a life lived in close fellowship with God is the most fulfilling, meaningful life possible. It demonstrates that faith pleases God and that He is a rewarder of those who seek Him. The story of Enoch is more than just a curious footnote in ancient history. It's an invitation. It's an encouragement. It's a blueprint for a life of extraordinary intimacy with the Creator. He stands as a testament that no matter how dark the world gets, one person's faithful walk can shine as a brilliant light, a walk that can culminate in an eternal home with God. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the life of Enoch. If this story inspired you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into incredible stories from history. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What does walking with God mean to you? Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.